This watch, in my opinion, is better looking and a better value proposition than a Rolex Oyster Perpetual. Look, if you're new to the watch world or have been immersed in it for decades, there's a message you will hear over and over, and that is the Swiss watches are superior to everything else on the market. And if it's not Swiss made, can it even be considered a luxury watch? Heck, even the Holy Trinity is comprised of Swiss watch brands. Coincidence? I think not. I won't go into the business side of the watch industry because I personally like the fun aspect of watch collecting. With that out of the way, there are a plethora of watch brands worldwide creating phenomenal horological masterpieces. And in the case of Nomos, a German watch brand, they are creating Bauhaus design watches that punch way above their price point and, in my opinion, are extremely underrated. I had been considering buying a Nomos watch for a long time, but dress watches are really not the type of watches I typically wear. That all changed when Nomos released the Club Sport Neomatik 37mm model. Before we continue with the video, I need to make it known that this watch was given to the channel, and in return, I will be creating content for Nomos. However, Nomos has zero input on this review or any of my content. Therefore, although I do love this watch, I need to point out a few things that I personally think Nomos needs to improve on. Stick around to the end of the video to hear my thoughts on that matter. Okay, you may want to pause this video, pour yourself a good cup of whatever your preferred beverage is, I won't judge, and come join me as we discover the Nomos Club Sport Neomatik 37mm with the petrol dial together. This particular model is also offered in a blue dial that Nomos calls the Polar. I chose to go with the green dial, or as Nomos calls it, the petrol, because I had the opportunity to see this dial in person prior to making my decision. Just like you, I was trying to watch as many videos and look up as many pictures to see the dial on different angles and lighting, but I can assure you that in person it's just so much better and it looks so different. If you get the chance, visit your nearest Nomos AD and check them out for yourself. I'll try my best to showcase this watch in different settings, and also thanks to my friends over at Strapsco, I'll be showing you what the watch looks like with different strap options. The entire watch is made of 316L stainless steel. The specs of the watch are as follows. The case measures in at 37mm, is 47.7mm from lug to lug. It's only 8.3mm thick. It has an 18mm lug width, a water resistance of 200 meters, a sapphire crystal with clear anti-reflective coating on the inner side, and the watch size to my 6 7/8 inch wrist at 17.43 centimeters weighs in at only 102 grams. The case of the watch is finished very nice. Unlike your traditional sports watches, the entire case, including the bezel, are polished, and although this watch features a 200-meter water resistance rating, you won't find any crown guards. The push and pull crown is located at the 3 o'clock, and it has been signed with the Nomos logo. Interacting with the crown is rather satisfying. There's a bit of a resistance to it. I would, however, love for this watch to feature a screw-down crown, just for peace of mind. The dial in true Nomos fashion occupies most of the watch case, in turn making this watch appear a little larger. However, reading the time is always very easy thanks to the printed Arabic numerals and indices. The dial is beautiful and minimalistic. We find simple rhodium plated hands. The Nomos logo and the word Glashütte have been printed in white, but the word Neomatik has been printed in a mustard color that really blends in with the green dial. And lastly, we find the words made in Germany underneath the running second subdial. This petrol green dial has PVD coating and sunburst polishing, and in low light conditions the dial almost looks great. But when the light hits it, that's when the dial comes alive and can be seen from across the room. And unlike, say, the green dial found on a Tissot PRX, this green looks very elegant and metallic in appearance. I didn't really know what to expect in terms of lume, as most Nomos watches I've experienced in the past didn't really have lume. To my surprise, the lume is actually pretty good. The lume can be found on the hands and indices, and Nomos is using Super Luminova. The bracelet measures in at 18mm and it tapers down to 16mm, features solid links and solid end links. It uses a pin and collar system to size it. It took me about 2 days, WD-40 and special tools to get it sized. Do yourself a favor and have Nomos resize the bracelet for you. It's a free service. Two big pluses for me are the quick release spring bars to remove the bracelet, and also the quick release for the 3 micro adjustments at the clasp that make it super convenient to resize the watch on the go. The middle of the bracelet is polished and the sides are brushed. I don't personally mind that finishing as it ties in well with the whole elegant sports watch look, but one thing I do mind is the finishing on the clasp. It is entirely polished and is a scratch magnet. I've been wearing this watch for 3 weeks and the clasp looks like I've worn it for much longer. The watch definitely looks and wears beautiful on my 6 and 7/8 inch wrist, that's 17.43 centimeters. This watch should feature 20mm lugs as finding 18mm straps is a little more challenging. I've heard some people say that the lugs are a little long on most Nomos models, therefore when you pair the watches on straps, you can see a gap and the watches tend to wear a little bigger. I agree to disagree. In my opinion, that's one of the characteristics that define a Nomos watch, and I love how this watch is so versatile on a number of different straps. And thanks to the quick release system on the bracelet, you can change the straps very quickly. By the way, if you're looking for a strap company that offers a lot of different strap options and in different sizes and colors and flavors for not a lot of money, check out my friends over at Strapsco. The heart of this watch is an entirely new in-house movement for Nomos, the Neomatik automatic caliber DUW3001. This movement is only 3.2mm thick, it has a power reserve of 43 hours, and it features 27 joules. The Nomos swing system, their proprietary escapement, also known as the caliber's heart, sets the right pace with the highest precision. And of course, there are many typical characteristics from Glashütte in this movement, which denote its rich heritage. The 3/4 plate, surfaces with Glashütte ribbing tempered blue screws, DUW regulation system adjusted in 6 positions, rhodium plating, and Nomos perlage. Nomos improved the efficiency of this new caliber by 94.2%, an achievement that experts find almost unbelievable because it means that friction loss is down 5.8%. This makes the DUW3001 caliber extraordinarily efficient, and although this caliber is high-tech, the handcraft element is and will always be at the forefront according to Nomos. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you about my deep understanding about mechanics. However, what I do know is that this movement is absolutely stunning to look at, and I highly recommend to anyone looking to buy this watch to buy it with the display sapphire caseback. Sure, it's going to set you back an additional $380, but it's worth every single penny. Additionally, Nomos offers free engraving for that personal touch. My positives about this watch outweigh the negatives by a mile. The only constructive criticism I have for Nomos are the following things. Number 1, the clasp finishing should definitely be brushed, not polished. Number 2, I would love for Nomos to use screws to size the bracelet instead of the pin and collar system, and it would be cool if the lug width was 20mm, not 18mm, but that's just being extra picky. This truly is a modern day gentleman sports watch for half the price of a Rolex Oyster Perpetual, and you can actually get one, no silly waitlist. The look, fit, and finish are on par with watches costing much more. Nomos is well respected in the watch community, and I strongly believe that in a few years' time they will be a household name. This Club Sport Neomatik will forever live in my collection, and it will be passed down to my son as a reminder that just like Nomos, his dad cared about attention to detail and took pride in his work. Thank you all so much for the support, and please let me know your thoughts on Nomos as a brand and this particular model. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and until next time, be safe and stay humble.